Matt, are you ready to complain about that Twitter account?
Yeah, you want to get into it?
I mean, you're the one who keeps bringing it up.
I don't want to bring it up. Stan started bringing it up first, and then he got me all hooked and convinced me that for some reason Legend of Dragoon was being remade, which it is absolutely not.
Sorry.
And now Bluepoint Games keeps tweeting out gibberish, nonsense, garbage.
Is it still garbage?
Yes. It used to be these like cryptic poems that like pointed to 3 different games at once. But now, just like an hour before the podcast recording started,
breaking news.
Yeah, they just tweeted, and all it says is "Stay hungry," and then it says #reset era, which is like a video game forum, kind of like a Reddit or like a 4chan, but for like
what is it?
It's like a video game forum.
What's it called?
Reset era.
I've never heard of it either.
I haven't heard of it either until I looked it up.
I mean, I'm not even on the Reddit
right before
so I'm even less plugged in. So
and then it has a picture, a black picture. It's just completely black, and then it says title in the middle, and then in the bottom right it says fast loading ... with like a picture of what I found out later was a cabbage. It looks like a flower. Showing it to Andy now, and actually if you change the brightness to the screen, there's actually like a cartoon goat.
I would not have assumed that was cabbage.
Yes, it looks like a flower, but yeah, if you search it, that exact image is of a blue cabbage.
Okay.
So then, as I was saying, so if you change the brightness on this picture, you there in the background there is a goat, like a cartoon-looking goat with giant eyes and giant horns, which doesn't make any sense and doesn't point to any of the games they could be making. I did kind of go down a rabbit hole quickly, and on the Reset Era forums, they had a post like two years ago. There was a post. It wasn't by them, but there was a post called like, oh, what kind of new additions to a Dark Souls remaster would you want? The greatest game of all time, and it just said like GOAT in parentheses. Obviously, GOAT stands for greatest of all time, so people are maybe thinking that has something to do with it.
Didn't Dark Souls just get kind of a remaster?
No, Demon Souls.
And the flower.
This is Demon Souls. This is going to be the original one for the PlayStation 3.
Sorry, did I say Dark Souls? Demon Souls.
This was like this one was really difficult.
Yeah, but is that a game they've mentioned before? Or is that just adding to the?
Yes.
No, that is
every time you look at their tweets, it's always like 70% Legend of Dragoon posts, and like 25% of them are just Dark Souls posts. Which is it's a game.
Demon Souls.
Sorry, Demon Souls. I keep saying that, and it's a game that came out in 2009. On PS3 and I feel like it's not old enough to want a remaster. Like it's
I would want a remaster. I'd buy it.
Still play the same as they do now. It's just they would look a lot better.
Demons.
I mean, I'm sure
I think Demon Souls wasn't that PS2 era?
No, PS3.
No, it was PS3.
100%.
Yep. I don't know. I feel like that's the only one I never hear anybody talk about. I feel like if they were going to remake one, it's still I would prefer to see one of the other older games remade, like Legend of Dragoon or something like that. But
and the little cabbage in the corner, I guess it looks like a little lotus that was in the Demon Souls game too, like a little icon. So
you know what?
There's a couple things pointing to that.
You complain, but it got you to just like dig down this rabbit hole and think about like you haven't shut up about this company, so they're doing something right with their advertising.
I know, but I also hate them. Just like tell me what you're doing.
I don't know why they need to advertise themselves anyways, but I mean,
what's frustrating is they're kind of implying they're making all these great games. So if you look at all the tweets, it's all these people wanting these dream games, and they're giving them hope because these tweets are like clearly pointing to Legend of Dragoon. They're clearly pointing to Metal Gear Solid. They're clearly pointing to like Twisted Metal. Just like all these good games that people have this like history and passion and nostalgia for. And obviously, what's going to happen is they're going to announce Demon Souls. And then, this small subset of people are going to be like really happy, and then everyone else is going to be like, but I really wanted Legend of Dragoon, but I really wanted Metal Gear.
I would love Twisted Metal 2 specifically remade. That'd be great.
That would be cool. But again, who knows what they're doing? It seems more and more I feel like it's going to be Demon Souls, because that would be probably the easiest of them to redo. I feel like a full RPG would be kind of a big undertaking.
It's also
not that they couldn't do it.
It's a PlayStation exclusive, so at that point, and I think Sony is trying to acquire them and basically have them just work on like just exclusively PlayStation titles.
What are the previous titles they actually have released?
They did the Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Okay.
They did the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. Which was fantastic.
They did like the Uncharted collection.
Funny thing about Shadow of the Colossus, so I have the original PS2 version. I thought I was really close to beating it, but I never actually like took that final step. I found out I was nowhere near completing that game because I'm like, oh, I beat up like the 7th out of the 8th Colossi. My girlfriend just beat it. She's like, hon, there's like 20.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the?
There's 20 Colossi?
Yeah, something like that.
I need a
I thought there was only like 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably either borrow that from her pretty soon, or we're moving in together in August. So when we combine our collections into one super collection, I'll technically have it.
So just quickly, Shadow of the Colossus, which was like their big update that a lot of people like. Uncharted Collection, which they did a good job with. Gravity Rush, which I still need to play that.
Gravity Rush. Is that a remake or just their own IP?
That's a place. Or it was a PlayStation Vita exclusive at one point. Then obviously PlayStation Vita didn't
Vita
sell
dead
well.
yet?
Yeah, it should be. Notable ones are Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, and then they did also the God of War Collection. So, they're mostly PlayStation exclusives.
So that might be why they mentioned so many Metal Gear references, because they already made that collection. Maybe that's why.
Well, again, there's been a lot of speculation that they're remastering the first one.
No, I know, which could use one. I mean, I know Twin Snakes is still very playable and very
I will not
great.
be disappointed if it's Legend of Dragoon, Demon Souls, or Metal Gear.
Demon Souls would not disappoint you.
No, God, no. I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
See, the problem is I'm setting myself up for disappointment because there's literally one game I want from them.
Legend of Dragoon.
You wouldn't
And it's
buy
probably
a
not gonna
remake
be
of
that.
Metal Gear Solid 1?
He didn't even like the first remake.
I played the original and then I played the
Twin Snakes.
Twin Snakes.
Yeah, but what happens if they update it like Resident Evil 2 did, where they make it, a lot more modernized, and you wouldn't play it again?
I mean, I would play it again. I just can't imagine it would be better.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
kind of
guess.
like Resident Evil 1 for me, where the GameCube remake already kind of hit the nail on the head, and they just made it prettier over time. Like Metal Gear Twin Snakes is great. It's still playable. Still very playable. I'd love to see it like freshened up graphically, but that's about all they could do with it. I mean, that's about all I assumed they would do with it. Kind of like Shadow of the Colossus. That's all they really did was just make it prettier. And that was remade a second
but
time.
they also made the gameplay a lot easier.
Oh, did they? Because that was the
it's a
second
lot
time
smoother.
it's been remastered, because it got remastered for the PS3 as well.
Yes, it did. It was the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Now was that the
mix.
same company?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So they did it the same game twice.
Well, yeah, but this one they really they
went above
instead
and
of just updating some textures. This one they went in, they fixed the controls
I
of it.
did love that game. So when I played it on the PS2, so I didn't play the PS3 version. So I'm really looking forward to playing this.
I actually was surprised.
version.
I thought they had a hand in making the Guardian the one for that was a PlayStation
Last
exclusive.
Guardian?
The Last Guardian.
That was the same developer who made the original
Ico.
Shadow of the Colossus. In
Oh,
Ico.
okay. That's where I'm getting mixed up.
The developer that made Ico and Shadow of the Colossus made Last Guardian. This company simply remastered
Oh, okay.
those games.
Yeah, I think because they keep pumping out Shadow of Colossus, I keep thinking, I'm like, oh, these guys make it, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
These are the guys, right?
So, but yeah, they do need to stop with the cryptic tweets. Stop giving people false hopes. Stop false advertising in a way. I get it.
got people talking.
Unless they announce 7 games at once,
They are
everyone's gonna be pissed at them.
they are making 2. They said they're very heavily involved in 2 games right now. And the idea was that they were trying to work with Sony to contract and basically pump out any game that's just requested by people. Because look at Resident Evil 2. When it gets hey, will people buy this? Yep. I think people are starting to realize, and like companies like Capcom, like, fuck it, let's just listen to the fans and it will sell because it's what they want.